You're listening to Blackwood Tales, stories from the roads that vanish, the houses that remember, and the places you were never meant to find. Tonight's tale, the gas station that wasn't there. Tonight's story begins on a road that does not appear on any map. I found it by accident, somewhere between the last town and the long stretch of highway that cuts through the northern woods. I had been driving for hours through rain so heavy my headlights looked like they were shining into wet smoke. My phone had no signal. The GPS had frozen 20 miles back, and the gas needle had been sitting below empty for longer than I wanted to admit. That was when I saw the sign. A single red word glowing through the trees. Gas. It flickered once, then buzzed back to life, like it had been waiting for me to notice it. The station sat alone at the edge of the road, half swallowed by pine trees. It looked old, but not abandoned. The pumps were rusted, the roof sagged, the windows were dark except for a weak yellow light glowing inside the little store. There were no cars in the lot, no trucks, no tire tracks except mine. I pulled in slowly, the gravel crunching under my wheels, and parked beside pump number 3. The rain hammered against the roof of my car so hard it sounded like fingers drumming above my head. The pump screen was blank. I tapped it once, nothing. Then from inside the store I saw a shape move behind the counter, a man standing completely still, watching me. I should have driven away. That is always the part of the story where everyone says they would have left. But my car was nearly out of gas and the road behind me had already disappeared into the storm. So I got out. The air smelled wrong, not like rain or pine or gasoline. It smelled like dust, old dust, the kind you smell when you open a closet that has not been touched in years. The bell above the store door gave a weak little jingle when I stepped inside. The man behind the counter looked up. He was older, thin, with gray hair combed perfectly to one side. His face had the tired, polite look of someone who had been working the night shift for too long. He smiled without showing his teeth. "Evening," he said. I asked if the pumps worked. The old man nodded. "Cash first," he said. His voice was dry and soft, like paper sliding over wood. I looked around the store. The shelves were stocked, but everything looked outdated. Candy bars I had not seen since I was a kid, glass soda bottles, paper road maps, a spinning rack of postcards showing a town called Blackwood, though I had never heard of it. There was an old radio behind the counter, playing nothing but static. I pulled a 20 from my wallet and placed it on the counter. The man looked at it for a long time, then he pushed it back toward me. "Don't take new money," he said. I laughed, thinking he was joking. He wasn't. I asked what he meant by new money. The old man reached under the counter and placed something beside my 20. It was a silver coin, dark with age. "Proper payment," he said. I stared at him. "I don't have anything like that." He nodded slowly as if he had expected that answer. "Most don't." The radio crackled behind him. For a second through the static I thought I heard my name, not clearly, just enough to make my stomach tighten. I looked toward the radio. The old man did not. He only leaned forward and whispered, "You shouldn't have stopped here empty." Outside, the lights above the pumps flickered on, one by one. I backed away from the counter. The old man did not move. He only watched me with that same tired smile. I stepped outside into the rain and hurried back to my car. That was when I noticed pump number 3 was running. The hose was already in my gas tank. The numbers on the pump spun fast, too fast, gallons climbing, dollars climbing, but I had never touched the nozzle. I grabbed it and tried to pull it free. It would not move. The handle was cold, not wet from rain. Cold like metal left in a freezer. Then the pump screen blinked. Letters appeared, one at a time, not enough. The radio static from inside the store got louder. Even through the rain, I could hear it. I yanked on the nozzle again. This time it came loose so suddenly I stumbled backward and fell against my car. Gasoline splashed across the pavement. Only it wasn't gasoline. It was black, thick. It spread across the ground in slow, shining ribbons moving against the slope of the lot, crawling toward my shoes. I ran to the driver's door, locked. I pulled the handle again and again. The keys were in my pocket. The lock clicked, but the door would not open. Then something tapped on the passenger window, once, twice, 3 times. I turned my head slowly. There was a woman sitting in my passenger seat. I had never seen her before. Her hair was wet, her face was pale, and she was mouthing one word, "Pay." I screamed and stumbled back from the car. The woman inside turned her head toward the windshield. I followed her gaze. Beyond the pumps, at the edge of the trees, more people were standing in the rain, a dozen of them, maybe more, men, women, children, all soaked, all watching. None of them blinked. The store door opened behind me. The old man stepped out onto the porch, holding my $20 bill between 2 fingers like it was something dirty. "Road takes what it's owed," he said. I shouted that I didn't know what that meant. The old man looked past me, toward the people in the rain. None of them did either. The woman in my car pressed her palm against the glass. That was when I saw the missing posters. They were taped to the inside of the store window, dozens of them. Faces faded by time, some looked old, some looked recent. One of them was a young man with a beard and a red jacket. The date below his picture was from 3 weeks ago. The next poster showed a family of 4, missing since 1998. Then I saw the last one. It was blank, no photo, no name, just today's date. The paper was fresh. The old man followed my eyes and smiled. "Still time," he said. I looked back at my car. The woman in the passenger seat was gone, but the passenger door was now open, waiting. I don't know why I ran toward the store instead of the road. Maybe because the road no longer looked real. The highway beyond the gas station had stretched into darkness, longer than any road should be, with no lines, no signs, no end. Inside the store, the radio screamed with static. I grabbed the first thing I could find from the counter, the old silver coin. The moment my fingers closed around it, every light in the station went out for 1 second. There was only darkness, then the radio spoke in my voice. "Pump 3 is paid." The doors burst open. Rain swept through the store, and every person outside began walking toward me, slowly, like they had all the time in the world. I ran past the counter, through a storage room and out a back door into the trees. Branches tore at my face. Mud swallowed my shoes. Behind me, I heard the bell above the store door jingling again and again and again, though no one was entering. I do not remember reaching the highway. I only remember waking in my car the next morning, parked on the shoulder, engine off, gas tank full. The gas station was gone. There was no sign, no building, no gravel lot. Only trees. On the passenger seat sat the silver coin. Beside it was my $20 bill, folded neatly in half. I drove until I found a town. At the first diner, I asked the waitress if there had ever been a gas station out on that road. She went pale, then she asked me one question: which pump? I told her pump 3. She set down the coffee pot and would not look at me again. Later I found out that road used to have a gas station decades ago. It burned down during a storm. The owner died inside. So did 3 travelers who had stopped for gas that night. But people still see the sign sometimes, only when they are lost, only when their tank is almost empty, and always in the rain. I keep the silver coin in a drawer now. I don't touch it, but sometimes. Late at night I hear a radio turn on somewhere in the house. Nothing but static, and a voice, the old man's voice, soft as dust. Not enough, and every time it rains, my car smells like gasoline. That was tonight's tale from Blackwood, but be careful on the road home. Not every light in the distance is meant to guide you, and some places only appear when you are almost out of gas. If you enjoyed this story, follow Blackwood Tales for more.